We could do having his lights on. Guys, welcome back to the channel and the final video on the Audi A6 estate car. As you can see, it's still in the paint booth. They've unmasked it, it's all dry, and they told us to come over and pick it up, but a little bit tricky with a wing mirror, so Chris did say that was a little bit tricky. Look how lovely that looks, mate.
Yeah, it looks well, doesn't it?
Looks beautiful. Let's get that mirror on, get it back to the yard and have a proper look. A little bit in the paint booth there, guys, and didn't even do an intro. So welcome back to the channel. And the final video on the Audi A6. This car, I keep saying it to Chris all the time, every time I look at it. This is one of the loveliest cars we've had on the channel, apart from obviously that you guys would have already seen. This car has turned out beautiful. And while it was at the paint shop, he actually said, Rob, I'm not going to not do that back bumper. So the whole back bumper, right down both sides, has been done. And although the light's not brilliant in here, we've got a fluorescent jacket in the background. Once it's outside, you'll see it's now absolutely bang on. He said the back bumper had actually been painted before, and also the front bumper had been painted before. In order to get it to match, he's actually blown that corner of the front bumper in as well. So absolutely bang on, and there's no way you can tell that's been repaired. It looks lovely, doesn't it? Yes. Chris is just going to jack it up. We're going to get it up in the air and then pick up in probably 2 days once these are done. These are going off for a refurb. So let's get it up in the air, get them off and get them over to JW Smarts. I know a lot of you are going to say they're not that bad, but do you know what? This car's absolutely beautiful.
Have you seen that one?
Yeah. It wants to be mint, this car, doesn't it?
Sell it to someone like that. That's it.
Big chunk missing out of it there.
It started to corrode, hasn't it, there as well. So
they're all the same, these diamond cuts. They do it all the time. So let's get it up in the air and get them wheels off. Last one there, to go in the back of the van and straight over to JW Smarts. Something I've just remembered while Chris was removing them wheels. A lot of you in the comments was like, Chris, blown away. You took on that A-post with the windscreen in the car and didn't break it. Wasn't you worried? And I probably didn't actually say in there too much. You wasn't worried about the windscreen. I don't know if I did mention it. The windscreen's actually broken this side. That's why Chris actually tackled it with the windscreen in, because we really wasn't that bothered. But if he was repairing that and there was nothing wrong with the screen, we would have got Liam to cut that out beforehand, definitely. Right, let's get them dropped off. So little bit of a delay there on the wheels. So it's being filmed over a couple of days. But fortunately, I've just popped to the paint shop this morning and got back the black trim. Let's have a look at Chris's repair. £720 well saved.
Was it, no, 600 something?
Was it 620?
640, something like that.
But absolutely perfect. It's just been blown in with gloss black. So I'm going to actually leave you with Chris. I've got to pop out. I'm working on another video and he's got quite a lot to do there, i.e. fit that on or fit up the driver's side door, or of course all of that stuff in the back, because this is ultimately how it's been left, isn't it? Back from the paint shop. So there's quite a lot in the back as well. I know Chris stripped a lot of it out because we thought that that back window had to come out and it didn't. So yeah, he's got a lot to be getting on with there. So we're going to leave him to crack on with that. And I should be able to get the wheels back this afternoon, hopefully. And we'll get this one completely nipped in the bud. So very, very briefly, guys, when we first did a check on this, a lot of you did say, why didn't that come up in Car Vertical, that vehicle was now a Category S? And we did explain that sometimes it does take up to a few months to actually, for the cars to be listed on all of the networks that they have been involved in an accident. But I actually run this check this morning. Chris said, check it, see if it's gone on yet. It'll be nice to include it and show if it has actually gone on there now. So mileage okay, theft okay, and there you can see it now, guys. Just a couple of weeks later, clearly highlighted accidents. So if we scroll a little bit down, it would have actually backdated and give us the date of that accident. So there it is, guys, damage detected, January 2023. Category S, right off, this vehicle can be obviously repaired and put back on the road after all of the repairs are complete. This check was performed in all these countries, United Kingdom, US, Poland, just to name a few. We want to thank Car Vertical for the continued support on these checks on the channel. To benefit from a 10% discount off your check, use the link in the description or the code SR10 from any browser. Let's get back to the car. So that's the wheel splash all back in. And driver's door panel all completely back together. Also, the black trim back on there, all with nice new clips. And while Chris was doing that, oh, also, when they done it at the paint shop, we noticed the boot lid's actually sitting correctly now. Like, perfect. And he said he don't think the rubber was quite on. It had been off before, obviously when it had had some paint, and they hadn't fitted it on properly. But all of the lights line up perfect now. But check these out, guys. Look at those. Look absolutely incredible. And that is just what you needed on that car. It looks that nice now. All these wheels wanted to be like brand new again. So I've got them all in the back there. I guess let's get them fitted, see what it looks like. Check how nice do they look. I just finished, I've completely finished that car off. So pretty much there with it, down to the last few bits. And it's a bit annoying really, because Chris actually stripped all that out because we thought that we had to take that window out, and it turns out we didn't. So now it is a case of putting it all back in. You've already put quite a bit of it back in, haven't you? So he's got the blind there, pillar cover, a pocket, the back cover here with the light and the pull in it. All of that has got to go back together. I'll take it that's an emergency pull for the boot there, or the back seats maybe. That cable and all of your fuse boxes. So we are going to let him just crack on in there and get all that put back together. The first bit of disappointment putting this back together, it's not really disappointment, but we just realised the actual parcel shelf that goes into these here and into these rails here is actually missing, which is such a shame. It really is a shame, but that piece was in there, that blind, and you can take that down. I remember saying when I was driving home, I thought the window had some funny tint on it, but I genuinely didn't see that as we picked it up in the dark. But all back together now, all completely done. The last little job is the S-line badge. Do you need me to go back to the original video, Chris? You measured that all up, didn't you? I did. I think I've got a photo on the phone. Chris has got a photo of it, so he's going to get that absolutely bang on. And then he just said to me, run it over, get it tracked up, because that wheel did have a little tiny tap, didn't it, when it was involved in the accident. So let's just go and get Rich to just go over that and 100% check it, make sure it's all bang on. And then I guess it's not even worth cleaning it because we've got bad weather again. We'll let Chris get that on, get it over for some tracking. So it's a little bit strange, near side front, and the car was actually here in the offside front, but
it can work in opposites.
Can it?
Yeah, it throws the rack off there.
But that's not, is that quite bad, or is that
well, like we say, we want it ideally arrow on the black line. So 8 minutes over, you'll get like a It's like always having to correct the steering wheel.
Yeah.
You know, we like them perfect.
Yeah, we do like them perfect. I'll let you do your thing, mate. There we go, just how we like it. Now we're to drive straight as an arrow. Let's head back to the yard. So just 3 videos on this one, all tracked up, drives as straight as an arrow.
Good.
And just couldn't be happier with it. I think before we even look round the car, we'll chuck in some before pictures. There's not a lot to show, but here they are. And I think you would agree, guys, that's come out absolutely perfect. Really does look the part. Got lucky with that mirror.
Yep.
And got lucky with the repairs, because that was the only thing that we actually bought for this car, I think, wasn't it?
Windscreen.
Oh, and a windscreen, yeah.
Yeah. So.
But look at that, all back to normal.
Yeah, it's nice when there's not a fortune to spend on parts, isn't it?
Definitely, yeah. And it was nice that we turned up to the paint shop and went, there you go, there's the keys. And he did crack on and get it done for us, didn't he? Does want a little bit of a wipe out inside, but I didn't want to take it to the car wash. It's got quite fresh paint on it. The wheels have all just been done, so I think we'll leave off that for the moment. But what a lovely match that is now as well.
Yeah, a lot better, isn't it?
That rear bumper, yeah, a lot better.
Yeah, really nice that.
Yeah. You know what time it is though, don't you, already?
It is crunch the numbers time, mate.
Let's go inside, get out this rain and crunch them numbers. Well, how about that, guys? For those of you that haven't seen the new SI UK office and the nice desk there that Chris built from scratch out of offcuts and bits of junk. And he said, Rob, let's go in here today and actually do the numbers in the office. Heating's on.
Hopefully you can read more writing, Rob.
Yeah. Right, the Audi A6. What a mission to go and get it.
It was a long way, wasn't it?
No, I'm on about the sleep I had to have in the car.
Oh, yeah.
Just for a couple of hours. For
lack of hotel spaces, wasn't it?
Well, it was sort of a last minute thing. I said, yeah, I'll come now. And I sort of finished work and then went, didn't I? So, a couple of you guessed right, actually, how much we paid for that car. But before I do tell you the price, he actually only had that car for a short period of time and he paid £16,995, plus he ordered an extended warranty,
£399,
which was £399, which we've still got, and I don't know if that's passable to the new owner or not, but it's there anyway. He bought it back off the insurance, and I think he gave back just under £5,000 for it, and we gave him £6,000 for it, which was cheap for that, wasn't it? The train fare to get there was £81.60. That's very precise, Chris.
Yep.
You've been through the bank statement
I
now.
have indeed.
Fuel, £60. I just put 60 in it, and I did say to you I was going to fill it up, but I was so tired and it was taking so long on a pump, I'd just give up. I thought 60, that'd get me home. M6 toll, £7, and that was, Chris said, make sure, even if the sat-nav's not telling you, you take that exit for the M6 toll, because the week before I didn't, and it ended up, what's it, another half hour?
Yeah, it was at least that, wasn't it?
For £7. Car wash the next morning to clean off the Badger was £10. The mirror, got so lucky again with that, just £100, and I'm sure they made a mistake. Windscreen, bit spiteful, but would have been a lot more money, but of course Liam looked after us. £300. Paint and materials, and this is just what Chris did on it, which was £60. Paint shop, £500. Again, got looked after there. Alloy wheel refurb, we got that at a trade price, but ultimately they refurb them, do the bit of welding for that chunk that was missing, then they paint them. The whole wheels get painted that grey colour, what the inserts are. Then it goes on the CNC machine, and they cut the wheels. Then they lacquer them after that. So quite a big process there for the wheels. Tracking or wheel alignment, what you want to call it. I had that done just a minute ago, and that was £30. So we got a total of £7,448.60. So less than half price for that car.
Yeah.
Really, less than half price, which is amazing. And I've just flicked through the internet, and they are still making the same sort of money as what that chap paid for it. So selling price is going to be £7,500 for Chris's E250 Mercedes estate car, because he wants to keep that car.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
And if I didn't have a car, we'd have been fighting over that one.
Yeah.
Definitely a keeper.
Yeah, nice.
And it does make sense for Chris, because he sold the convertible, he was hardly using it. And he does not call that an estate car. What do you call it?
Van with windows.
A van with windows. So it just does everything, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
You can use it as a car, you can use it as a van. I'm sure you'll get an 8-foot ladder in the back of that. It's that big inside, isn't it?
Well, it's as big, if not bigger, than the Mercedes, isn't it?
It's definitely bigger.
And I've
than
had
that,
3 metre lengths of timber in the Mercedes.
There you go.
You know.
And I would say, in the last video, at least 20% of you left a comment saying, I can see that glint in Chris's eye. He's keeping it. And then I put out a post. No, Chris put his Mercedes on his Instagram for sale.
That's right.
And I read his comments, and all of them said, enjoy the new A6, Chris. Yeah, we know you're keeping that A6. That's guys, right. If we was going to be selling that car to one of you guys, honestly, probably would have been one of our best earners ever, because we wouldn't have sold that car for less than 12 grand.
I think 12 and a half, we sort of thought.
12 and a half grand, which would have given us a pre-tax profit of 5,000 quid. But why do you want to take the profit out of it when it's worth more than 5 grand to you? It's an upgrade from the Merc. The Merc is a beautiful car. It really is a nice car. And whoever buys it is going to absolutely love that car. I think it's got, we're only asking 7.5 for that car. And that is purely because it's got a couple of marks in the bumper we never had painted.
That's right.
And a little tiny chip in the boot lid.
Oh, it's tiny, isn't it? Yeah.
So Chris's Merc, I'll let this video run for a couple of days now. So probably like at the weekend, maybe Saturday or Sunday, I'll get Chris's Merc all cleaned up and I'll advertise that on there for sale. But yeah, guys, Chris is keeping the Audi A6, I'm afraid. That is going to disappoint quite a lot of you. But I have known for a little while, and quite a lot of you have messaged me on Instagram saying, Rob, ring me as soon as it's available. And I've called everyone back that left their number, and they actually already know that Chris is keeping it, because I did tell them, don't hold out for it, don't miss another car that you're looking at. So guys, that is going to be the end of today's video and the end of the series on the Audi A6. If you did enjoy it, don't forget to hit that thumbs up. If you didn't, hit the thumbs down. It all helps to us. Follow us on Instagram at Salvage Rebuilds, and if you want to follow Chris on his jollies out in his new Audi A6, it's Salvage Rebuilds Chris. We'll see you very, very soon in the next one.